Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to have you here today. We're about to explore a meaningful and inspiring topic. The slide you see now features the title, Surah Balad, and is brought to you by Continuous Learning Development in 2025. Over the course of this presentation, we'll delve into the themes and lessons of Surah Balad, uncover its relevance, and see how it can inspire us in our personal growth. Let's get started. Today, we start by exploring the significance of the word la, nay. This word is used to refute or deny, especially in the context of addressing the Quraysh. It's a way of firmly rejecting their claims or assertions. Then we move to a powerful oath. I swear by this city. This phrase emphasizes the importance of Makkah, which is central to the message. Shabib bin Bishr narrates from Ikrimah, who in turn quotes Ibn Abbas, clarifying that this city refers specifically to Makkah. This connection highlights the deep reverence and significance of Makkah in the Islamic tradition. The verse, I do swear by this city, from Surah At-Tin 90:1, underscores the importance of Makkah as a sacred place. Throughout this presentation, we see how these words and references serve to establish the sacredness of Makkah and the gravity of the message. Recognizing this helps us understand the profound connection between the land and the divine promises or messages conveyed there. Today, I want to highlight some important teachings regarding the sanctity of Makkah and the conditions under which fighting is permitted. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, said that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was given permission to fight in Makkah for a limited time. Specifically, it was allowed for him to do so for just 1 hour of a day. This is echoed by scholars like al-Sudi and Ibn Zayd, and also by al-Hasan al-Basri, who explained that Allah made fighting in Makkah lawful for the Prophet only for that brief period. Now, it's important to understand that the sanctity of Makkah is divine and eternal. The Prophet himself said that Allah made Makkah sacred from the day he created the heavens and the earth. This sanctity is upheld until the day of judgment, meaning no trees should be uprooted, nor bushes or grasses removed. Interestingly, the permission to fight there was only for a limited time, just 1 hour a day, and that permission has now been restored, meaning the city remains sacred as it was yesterday. So, if anyone tries to justify fighting in Makkah today by citing the Prophet's limited permission during a specific event, we need to clarify that it was a special, divine permission granted only to the Prophet. It does not give anyone else the right to fight or conquer Makkah. And even if the Prophet himself was subjected to hostility or abuse within this city, the sanctity remains protected by Allah's divine law, as mentioned in the Quran. This teaches us a vital lesson about respecting sacred places and understanding the specific divine permissions granted for certain situations. In this slide, we see a powerful statement that highlights the concept of lineage and creation. The phrase, and by the begetter and that which he begot, emphasizes the importance of parents and their children. Here, the begetter is identified as Adam, the first human, and what he begets are his descendants, his children. This view, supported by scholars like Mujahid and his companions, is considered strong and meaningful. It's reinforced by the fact that Allah swears by the mother of the towns, which refers to the dwellings or cities, symbolic of the places where people live and grow. Then Allah swears by the dwellers in these places, namely Adam and his progeny. Abu Imran al-Jani interprets this as referring specifically to Ibrahim and his descendants, which makes sense given the context of many prophetic stories. However, Ibn Jarir offers a broader view, suggesting that the verse is general and applies to every father and his children. This interpretation aligns well with the overall theme of kinship and divine guidance. Finally, the verse from Surah At-Tin, verse 3, echoes this idea, reminding us that Allah swears by every parent and their child, emphasizing the universal importance of lineage and the bond between generations. This ties back to our broader discussion on creation, lineage, and the divine signs present in our lives. In this slide, we see a powerful reflection on the nature of human creation and the inherent struggles we face. The phrase, Verily, we have created man in kabad, is often understood as being in hardship or difficulty. Ibn Abbas explains that fi kabad means he was created while in hardship. He illustrates this by describing the stages of human development, starting from a drop of sperm, then a clot, then a lump of flesh, all of which involve enduring various forms of difficulty. Mujahid expands on this idea, linking it to the hardships faced by a mother, her labor, her feeding, and the ongoing struggles to sustain her child. This highlights that life's hardships are woven into our very creation and ongoing existence. The phrase fi kabad also emphasizes the constant struggle in seeking livelihood, meaning that from birth to daily survival, hardship is a recurring theme. Ikrimah notes that it signifies long-suffering, indicating patience through enduring life's challenges. Qatada further clarifies that it refers to difficulty, and Al-Hasan adds that it encompasses enduring both worldly hardships and the severity of the hereafter. Finally, we see a verse from the Quran. Indeed, we have created humankind in constant struggle, which ties everything together. It reminds us that struggle is an intrinsic part of human life, a fundamental aspect of the human condition that we all share. This understanding connects to our overall theme of resilience and perseverance, encouraging us to recognize that hardship is part of our divine design, shaping us and testing our faith. Today, I want to highlight some profound reflections on humility and accountability. Al-Hasan al-Basri once asked, "Does he think that none can overcome him?" This question challenges us to consider whether someone truly believes they are invincible or beyond reach. It reminds us that no one is immune to Allah's justice. Then there's a powerful statement. The son of Adam thinks that he will not be asked about this wealth of his, how he earned it and how he spent it. This points to a common misconception among many of us, that wealth is ours to keep without consequence. But in reality, we will all be questioned about our earnings and expenditures. And we see this echoed in the verse from the Quran. Do they think that no one has power over them? 95. It emphasizes that nobody is independent of Allah's authority or beyond his scrutiny. Together, these points reinforce the overarching theme of accountability. No matter how confident we feel or how much wealth we accumulate, ultimately, we are all subject to divine judgment. It's a reminder to stay humble, to be mindful of our actions, and to always remember that our efforts and intentions are known to Allah. This slide shows a powerful message from the perspective of the son of Adam, or humanity, highlighting how we often view wealth. It states, "I spent an abundance of wealth," which reflects how people tend to boast about their material possessions and success. But then, it takes a turn with the phrase, "I have wasted enormous wealth," referencing the verse from 96. This is a reminder that despite accumulating wealth, many of us may not be using it wisely or meaningfully. It connects to the overall theme of the presentation, being mindful of how we manage and perceive our resources. It encourages us to reflect on whether our wealth is truly serving us and others in a positive way, rather than just being a source of pride or waste. Let's consider a powerful reminder from the Salaf, where they questioned, "Does he think that Allah, the mighty and majestic, does not see him?" This question is not just about awareness, but about the consciousness of Allah's omnipresence. Some of the Salaf have expressed similar thoughts, emphasizing the importance of understanding that Allah is always watching us. This idea relates directly to our overall theme of mindfulness and accountability in our faith. The verse from 97 asks, "Do they think that no one sees them?" reminding us that no matter where we are or what we do in private, Allah's sight encompasses everything. The key takeaway here is that our actions should always reflect this awareness. Knowing that Allah sees us changes how we behave, encouraging us to act righteously, even when no one else is watching. It's a call to internalize the presence of Allah in every moment, reinforcing our sincerity and devotion. Now, let's consider the idea behind this slide. The copyright 2025 by Continuous Learning Development emphasizes the importance of ongoing growth and understanding. When we say meaning, for him to see with them, we're highlighting the value of truly seeing and understanding others' perspectives. It's about empathy and awareness. Then we have the verse, "Have we not given them 2 eyes?" 98, which is a powerful reminder. Our eyes symbolize more than just physical sight. They represent insight, perception, and clarity. Essentially, this verse prompts us to reflect on how fortunate we are to have the tools to see and understand the world around us. Connecting this to our overall message, it's about cultivating awareness, both of ourselves and others. By developing this perception, we can better empathize, communicate, and grow. It's a reminder that seeing clearly is a gift that enables us to learn and connect more deeply. Today, I want to talk about the significance of the lisan, which means tongue. The tongue is not just a physical organ. It symbolizes the ability to speak with others and to express what is inside us. It's a key tool for communication and sharing our inner thoughts and feelings. Next, we have the shafatain, or 2 lips. These lips are essential for several reasons. They help us speak clearly, which is vital for effective communication. They also assist us in eating food, which is fundamental for sustenance and health. Additionally, lips play a role in beautifying our face and mouth, impacting how we present ourselves to others. When we combine these concepts, the tongue and the 2 lips, we see their importance in daily life. They are mentioned together in the Quran, specifically in 99, emphasizing their role in our ability to speak, eat, and present ourselves properly. Overall, these organs are more than just physical parts. They symbolize the broader themes of expression, nourishment, and appearance, all of which contribute to our overall well-being and our interactions with others. Today, I want to focus on an important concept. The ability to distinguish between good and evil is also a blessing. This highlights the 2 paths that are laid out for us in life. As Abdullah bin Mas'ud mentioned, these are the 2 ways, the good and the evil. It's crucial to understand that our Creator has made this distinction very clear to us. The Quran tells us in Surah Al-Qiyamah, "Verily, we have created man from nutfa amshaj," which refers to a mixed drop of semen, symbolizing our humble beginnings. And it's in our nature to be tested, whether we choose the good or the evil. The Quran further emphasizes this by stating, "And have made the 2 ways of good and evil clear to him." This means that the guidance has been provided, the options are visible, and it's up to us to choose which path to follow. Recognizing this blessing, the ability to discern right from wrong, is fundamental because it empowers us to make conscious choices. It's part of our spiritual journey and aligns with the larger theme of personal development and accountability. So remember, this clarity and ability we have are gifts that come with responsibility. It's up to us to choose the path of gratitude and righteousness. This slide highlights an important concept about effort and choice on our spiritual journey. It suggests that a person might recognize the path to salvation and goodness, but sometimes they choose not to cross into it. Instead, they might avoid taking those decisive steps, especially when the path is difficult or steep. The verse from 90:11 emphasizes that often, people make no effort to move onto the challenging but rewarding path. This reminds us that progress requires intentional effort, even when the way is tough. Throughout our presentation, we've seen how perseverance and making conscious choices are vital to growth. So, this slide encourages us to reflect on our own willingness to face the steep climbs that lead to true fulfillment and salvation. Today, I want to highlight some profound sayings of the Prophet, as recorded by Imam Ahmed from Amr bin Abasa. These words remind us of the immense rewards associated with sincere actions in Islam. The Prophet said that whoever builds a masjid for the purpose of Allah's remembrance, Allah will reward him by building a house for him in paradise. This emphasizes the significance of contributing to the community and creating places of worship. He also mentioned that freeing a Muslim from captivity or hardship acts as a ransom from hellfire, showcasing the value of helping others. Lastly, he said that growing gray in Islam, that is, aging in faith and knowledge, becomes a light for us on the day of judgment. These points collectively highlight that enduring good deeds and steadfastness in faith are highly rewarded by Allah. Now, connecting this to our broader theme, these teachings encourage us to pursue actions that not only benefit ourselves, but also uplift others and strengthen our faith. And finally, a question to reflect on. How do we recognize what makes a path difficult? As the verse from 90:12 asks, and how would you know what is the difficult path? It reminds us that understanding the challenges we face requires insight and patience. Sometimes, the most rewarding paths are the hardest, but they are also the ones that lead to spiritual growth and Allah's pleasure. Today, I want to highlight a powerful saying of the Messenger of Allah that emphasizes the immense value and reward of freeing a believing slave. He said that when someone frees a believing slave, Allah will respond by freeing every part of that slave from the fire. To put it simply, for each limb, like a hand, a leg, or even private parts, Allah will free one of ours from punishment. It's a profound reminder of how acts of kindness and justice can have a direct spiritual impact. In the narration, Ali bin al-Hussein asks Sa'id if he heard this from Abu Hurairah, and Sa'id confirms he did. Then, Ali bin al-Hussein shows his own generosity by instructing a servant, who is the swiftest among his slaves, to be called Mutarif. When Mutarif appears, Ali bin al-Hussein declares him free for the sake of Allah's face, meaning purely for Allah's pleasure. This story underscores not only the virtue of freeing slaves, which is emphasized in the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 90, but also the personal sacrifice and sincere intention behind such acts. Connecting this to our overall theme, it reminds us that freeing a slave is more than just an act of charity. It's a means to attain Allah's mercy and forgiveness, highlighting the importance of compassion and freeing others as a pathway to spiritual elevation. Today, I want to highlight the significance of giving food during a day full of maskaba. The word sagbi is particularly important here because it means hunger, but it also conveys the idea of feeding or nourishing someone on a day when hunger is prevalent. This concept is rooted in the Quran, specifically in verse 90:14, which emphasizes the act of providing for those in need during times of hunger. What this teaches us is the importance of compassion and generosity, being there for others when they are most vulnerable. It's not just about physical nourishment, but also about embodying the spirit of caring and community. In the context of our overall theme, which is about continuous learning and development, this reminds us that growth isn't only personal, it's also about uplifting others. Providing food, especially in difficult times, symbolizes support, empathy, and the collective effort to improve lives. So, as we reflect on this, let's remember that true progress involves acts of kindness, feeding the hungry, both literally and metaphorically, and that these acts are fundamental to our shared journey of development. This slide references a beautiful aspect of charity in Islam, highlighting the importance of giving food to those in need, especially on days when it might be most meaningful. When we talk about makraba, it specifically refers to giving to someone who is related to us, like a family member or relative. Ibn Abbas explains that this act of charity isn't just about helping those in need, but also about maintaining and strengthening family ties. There's a hadith collected by Imam Ahmed that emphasizes this point further. It tells us that giving charity to a poor person is rewarded as one act of charity. But if the person you're helping is a relative, the reward doubles because it's both charity and a way of connecting and nurturing family bonds. This highlights how our actions can serve multiple purposes, helping those in need and fostering kinship. This idea ties into the broader theme of our presentation, which is about the various ways we can earn rewards through acts of kindness and maintaining good relationships. Remember, even small acts, like sharing food with a relative or an orphan, hold immense value in Islam. It's about more than just charity. It's about building a compassionate, connected community. Today, I want to delve into the meaning of the term dha matraba, which is quite profound. It essentially refers to someone who is poor, miserable, and clinging to the dirt, symbolizing a state of extreme destitution. When we say someone is in this condition, we're describing a person who is struggling deeply, often without the basic needs for dignity and comfort. Ibn Abbas provides a powerful explanation. he describes Dha Matraba as a person who is dejected in the street, someone who has no house or anything to protect them from the dirt and the elements. This imagery highlights vulnerability and utter helplessness. Furthermore, the term also encompasses a needy person in distress, a person who is suffering and in need of help. This concept reminds us of the importance of compassion and awareness of those around us who may be in such a state. Connecting this to our broader theme, it emphasizes the importance of empathy and the responsibility we have towards those who are struggling in society. Recognizing their plight is the first step towards offering support and making a positive difference. On this slide, we see that our subject not only possessed beautiful and pure qualities, but he was also deeply a believer at heart. His faith was genuine, and he sought the reward of Allah through sincere devotion. This highlights an important point. True faith is characterized by both inner conviction and outward actions. The verse from 17:19 reminds us that those who desire the hereafter and strive for it, putting in the necessary effort while remaining believers, are truly appreciated by Allah. It emphasizes that effort and sincerity go hand in hand on the path to success in the hereafter. Additionally, the verse from 16:97 underscores that righteousness isn't limited by gender. It applies to everyone. Whether male or female, working righteous deeds while maintaining true faith is what truly counts. This means that our subject was someone from the believers who actively engaged in righteous deeds. But it wasn't just about personal acts. He also advised others to be patient amidst the harms they face and to show mercy towards them. And above all, as the verse from 90:17 highlights, he was someone who believed deeply and encouraged others to persevere, to be patient, and to act with compassion. Overall, this slide reminds us that genuine faith involves both heartfelt belief and active goodness, working righteousness, being patient, merciful, and inspiring others to do the same. These qualities are central to our overall theme of spiritual development and living a faith-driven life. Today, I want to focus on what it means to be among the companions of the right hand, as described in this slide. These are the people who possess certain key characteristics that set them apart. When we say they are the companions of the right, it's about their fortunate position, their righteousness, and their closeness to guidance and goodness. This concept is rooted in the idea that those who have these qualities are the ones who are ultimately blessed and favored. The verse 90:18 emphasizes this, calling them the people of the right. It's a powerful reminder that our actions and characteristics can align us with this esteemed group. Throughout this presentation, we've been exploring how personal development and righteousness lead us toward this fortunate status. Recognizing these traits in ourselves helps us stay focused on the path of right conduct. So, when we think about the companions of the right, think about qualities like faith, sincerity, humility, and a sincere desire to do good. Cultivating these traits can position us closer to the blessings described in the Quran. Remember, this isn't just about status. It's about aligning ourselves with values that lead to success in this life and the next. That's the core idea here. Striving to develop these characteristics puts us on the right path, both spiritually and morally. Today, we're going to explore the concept of the companions of the left hand and what their recompense entails. In the Quran, specifically in verse 90:19, it states, "As for those who deny our signs, they are the people of the left." This verse highlights a key aspect of accountability and the consequences of rejecting divine guidance. The phrase, people of the left, is often understood as a metaphor for those who, in the hereafter, face a different outcome compared to the righteous. It's important to understand that this isn't just about physical direction, but symbolizes separation based on one's actions and beliefs in this life. Throughout our presentation, we've emphasized the importance of faith, obedience, and understanding of divine signs. Here, we see that denial or rejection of these signs leads to a specific destiny, being among the companions of the left. This concept reminds us of the gravity of our choices and actions. It's a call to reflect on how we respond to divine guidance and to strive to be among those who are on the right, the companions of the right hand, so to speak. Ultimately, this slide connects to the broader theme of accountability and the importance of aligning our lives with the signs and guidance from Allah. It underscores that our actions today shape our destination tomorrow. As we look at this slide, the key point here is the concept of being sealed over them, which signifies that there will be no escape or avoidance. The phrase masada is crucial. It means to shut or to seal. When we say that the fire will be sealed over them, it indicates that their fate is sealed permanently, with no doors or openings left. Different scholars have explained this in slightly varied ways. Ibn Abbas, for example, mentioned that its doors will be closed, emphasizing the complete closure. Ad-Dahak adds that it will be sealed over them and there will be no door, reinforcing the idea of absolute confinement. Qatada describes it as a situation where it will be shut and there will be no light, no crevice, no escape, and no way out forever. This imagery underscores the severity of the punishment. Once sealed, there's no chance for relief or escape. Connecting this to our overall theme, it reminds us of the importance of avoiding actions that lead to such a fate, emphasizing accountability and the permanence of divine justice as described in the Quran. In this slide, we see that Allah has sworn by Makkah, the mother of the towns, which highlights the city's sacredness and its importance. When Allah addresses the residents during the non-sacred months, it's a reminder of the city's sanctity and how it should be respected even when it's outside the sacred period. The surah teaches us that human beings have been created in a state of constant struggle. This struggle is primarily between doing good and falling into bad. For example, we might waste wealth or choose to give charity. Both are choices that shape our character and our afterlife. Allah has clearly made the path of good and evil visible to us. He has blessed us with senses, our eyes, our lips, our tongues, to help us see, speak, and act in ways that are pleasing to Him. Using these senses to do good can lead us to Jannah or paradise, which is the reward for our righteous deeds. However, if we choose evil, the punishment is severe. The sealed fire, with no way out for those who persist in wrongdoing. To sum up, this slide emphasizes that life is a constant test of our choices. We are created to struggle, but we are also guided and equipped with everything we need to choose the right path. Our actions determine whether we attain eternal reward or face eternal punishment. It's a reminder to always be mindful of the sanctity of Makkah, of our duties, and of the importance of making conscious, righteous decisions in our lives.